There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Hello, I'm Vixie, the automated recruitment assistant of VXI Philippines. Do you want to know how to jumpstart an awesome career? Join VXI and be part of the International ICT Award 2019's Best Employer of the Year finalist, Best Company of the Year, Best Contact Center, Most Innovative Company of the Year for 2 years, Hall of Fame for Best Contact Center and BPO Company of the Year for 2017, 2018, and 2019. We are hiring account representatives for customer service, sales, and technical support. Find us in a site near you. Quezon City, Makati City, Mall of Asia, Pasay, Clark, Pampanga, and Davao City. Enjoy a competitive compensation package and industry best incentives. Apply via Facebook Messenger at VXIPH. Email us at careersph@vxi.com. Text your full name, location, and preferred interview schedule to 0917-777-5555 for Luzon and 0965-932-9745 or 0961-757-8361 for Davao. We can't wait to have you on the team soon. Apply now!
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our career session for today. We are live for Marinduque State College. And watching us live with us for this webinar, we also have the students of Wesleyan University in Nueva Ecija. So, I would like to greet everyone. So today we have invited speakers from Optum and Ernst and Young to deliver their topics for today. So we'll look into that later. So before we start, please feel free to join us for the opening prayer and the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below. Praise Him above, ye heavenly hosts. Praise Father, Son, and Holy
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Thank you for that, Tech. Now to deliver the opening remarks, we'd like to call on Mr. Marvin P. Plata, Vice President for Student Affairs and Services over at Marinduque State College. Sir Marvin, if you're ready, we'll put you up in the screen. Hi, sir. How are you?
Thank you very much, Miss Shari. Magandang hapon po sa lahat. Especially to the officials from the jobs180.com. We have Ma'am Kim Chua, the Managing Director. We also have Ma'am Joy Katakuta, also part of the management of the jobs180.com. I would like also to acknowledge the presence of our director for Student Welfare Office, Director Emilita Rodelas, and of course our college president, Dr. Gustavo P. Sulweta. And first and foremost, we would like to thank the jobs180.com for having this kind of activity, particularly for our graduating students. And I believe that this one, as part of our student programs and services, student welfare is very vital, particularly to those students who will be the future employees. And this time, because of this activity that the Jobs 180 is doing, as part of our partnership with your company, our students will be benefiting from this. the learnings that, of course, you will be sharing to them, particularly in terms of looking or hunting for a fit job, that would fit their education, would be of great help for them. And also, we also acknowledge the presence of other students coming from others from Wesleyan University. I know that all of you will, of course, gaining very important, very vital knowledge and skills. And also, what is important is the attitude that you can use outside the college. And we are very happy that our students will be soon graduating this July, and this event, would serve as their venue. I believe that this will also serve as venue for them to ang tawag, to see to have the chance for them uh, to look for opportunities that they would be fit in after their graduation, because I know that jobs180.com will not only give you the seminar about proper grooming, proper things that you will do in the interview, but Jobs 180 will also provide you link, you know, important link for the jobs, that you will be engaged into in the future. So our college president is very happy that we are having this kind of activity, and this is part of his trust for the college. This is part of his mandate to the Student Affairs and Services Office to link our students to employment. No, meaning our office is tasked to provide services to our students from application rather to admission, and then while they are in the college, our services is also, of course, for the students, and from the time that they graduated from the institution up to their employment, we are still in, of course, we are still in front, of looking for the welfare of our students. Kasi kahit magtrabaho na po ang mga mag-aaral sa MSC, may trabaho na hinahanap pa rin namin because we do the tracer study and others. And this one, as part of the major activities, particularly the job placement and career office, of course, headed by Dr. Romulo H. Malvar, and under the supervision of Ma'am Rodelas, we are very happy that you are here partnering with us for this activity. So how we wish that all of you, particularly the officers from the job street, could come to MSC for a face-to-face activity, but because of uh, so many activities that we have, and of course, uh, the online platform is, of course, the major, I mean, ito na ang pinaka ano natin, ginagamit natin na platform to communicate, and it can accommodate large number of participants also. You can attend in the comforts of your home, in the comforts of your office, or anywhere that you are. So, but at the end of the day, what is important is that this activity would, of course, benefit our students. So, I am advising all the students, particularly the participants who are here, to listen, to take, to take all the possible insights, inputs that you may be able to use, and you will be benefit from. And also, since not all of the students will be given the chance to attend to this, I know there are only 10 students per section, but we are live in Facebook. You can also invite other classmates, other students to join. And that would be uh, the message that I would like to convey to everyone in behalf of our college president, Dr. Giuslado P. Solveta, as what he is always saying at the end of his speech. Lagi po niyong tandaan, sa Marinduque State College, mayroon pong sa inyo'y patuloy na nagmamahal. Magandang hapon po at isang malusog na araw sa lahat.
Thank you for that, VP Plata. We appreciate taking the time po for you to grace our session, our activity this afternoon po. Thank you, sir. So to everyone, we welcome everyone to the event today. So marami pong salamat for joining. Please be advised that attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. So please tag your friends so they do not miss out on this activity today. The recordings of this webinar will be posted on the jobs20.com Facebook and YouTube channel. We'd also like to acknowledge the help of Ms. M. Rodelas and Dr. Annie Alfaro and her team for helping us coordinate our activity for this afternoon. So to everyone, here is our schedule. So first things first, we will be discussing job applications using the resume link. And then we will be discussing top skills employers look for when hiring. And then lastly, we have Ernst and Young to discuss the new era of work. Ayan. So thank you again to those who's taking the time to listen throughout this presentation. Again po, meron pong separate na evaluation links and attendance links for Wesleyan University and another set of links for Marinduque State College. So abangan niyo po yung mga links na yun later para ma-count po ang inyong attendance. So let's proceed to our first speaker. So our first speaker discussing job applications using the resume link, we have Sir Chua, Managing Director of Jobs20.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. We encourage everyone to put in their questions after each speaker's presentation because we have the time later to do the question and answer. So to everyone, mamaya yung questions na lagay nyo sa chat, no? And then, Sir Kim, if you're ready, the floor is yours. Please take it away.
Everyone. Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang daming mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply, no? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Di ba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Baka mukha lang akong salesman, pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink, by definition, is the most secured tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobsonit.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik ta rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J, o kaya J Santos, o kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay Cutie Pie, Lover Boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobsonit.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs on 80. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede ka makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba? Antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo. No, willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi porkat education ang course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi porkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit, at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pang mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, 2 lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa siya lang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yun talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Ba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung matiyatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, diba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba. No? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, 'di ba, na napag-aralan, 'di ba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka kung paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin, 'di ba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming istorbo, 'di ba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig, 'di ba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari? Nasa biyahe, diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, diba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the ResumeLink is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think, babae ako. Di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris. Nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick. O, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kumpleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong iExpert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, Sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo on or off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information. And in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobsonit.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay, ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobsonit.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobsonid.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so ano gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobsonid.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file, diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras yan, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O di ba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O di ba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O di ba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it, depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20, bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Unang-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikay nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, doon pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O diba? And then pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your ResumeLink. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your ResumeLink? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? Oh, 'di ba? Char-char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. I'll go first para may time kayo mag-isip ng questions nyo. So first question, sir. If, for example, you're based in Marinduque, can you apply to jobs that are located in Ortigas, Quezon City, Taguig, or would the recruiter look at your location and automatically hindi ka na pasok sa screening?
Definitely, you can apply to any position.
Can't hear you, sir. Audio is not good on my end.
Is not working. Ayan. Can you hear me now?
Meron pero faint. Audio not good. Ayan. So, keep your questions coming to everyone. Open po yan sa lahat. Pwede po kayong mag-ask ng questions.
Sound check?
Yes, meron na po.
Sound check? Okay, yan. So, definitely you can apply to any companies, any location, any position, as long as you're aware of the position and the requirements that you're applying to. Hindi naman po yung magiging problema kung mag-apply kayo. It will just be something that the company will be asking as well if you are willing to relocate kung location yan. Diba? Kung specialization naman, let's say hindi natutugma sa course mo, you are an education graduate or you are an engineering graduate tapos nag-apply ka sa isang IT position, as long as you have the skill sets for that, then I think it's okay. It's not going to be an issue. Yun. I hope na-answer ko yung tanong, Ma'am Shari.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Next question po. Ano po mangyayari kung hindi na-confirm sa interview pero hindi po naka-attend? Mabablacklist ba?
Hindi ko masasabi kung ano gagawin ng company. Kasi ganito yan, no? When you confirm to an interview, you need to be able to advise the HR that you're not going to make it. No? If you're not pushing through because of whatever reason, it's an emergency, or even if sabihin na lang natin nagbago isip mo, 'di ba? For whatever reason na lang, just advise the HR because remember, you have to show respect to the time that the HR is giving to you. 'Di ba? Nag-allocate sila ng oras nag-invite sila, nagbigay ka ng yes, nag-confirm ka, tapos biglang hindi ka mag-show up. I think it will not be a good practice. At the same time, people in HR, they're just very small world lang yan. You don't want that HR to be to remember you, no, because of what you did. Tapos maybe in the next company you're applying to, nandun na naman yung HR na yun. Tapos alam mo na, 'di ba? It doesn't make a good impression. Okay? So simple lang 'yan, 'di ba? Parang date lang 'yan Nag-confirm ka sa date, magpakita, 'di ba? Kung biglang nagbago isip, huwag tayong mag-ghost. 'Di ba? Sabihan mo yung totoo sa HR, 'di ba? Sabihin mo lang that you will not be able to make it. Then I think the HR will understand. Okay? Request for a reschedule kung pwede. Pag hindi pumayag, then accept your fate. Na ganoon talaga. You move to a different company. You apply to the next company na. Okay?
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Next question po, sir. May we confirm po na yung mga, kunyari po, nag-apply kami online. As kung ako ay job seeker, nag-apply po ako sa jobs180.com. guaranteed po ba na legit yung mga companies at hindi naman masa-scam or meron po bang kahit sino po ba pwede mag-post, ganyan po. Siguro yun yung tanong.
Hindi. Hindi kahit sino pwede mag-post. So this is what we can guarantee the applicants who are checking out opportunities no sa Jobs on ET website. Pati na rin doon sa link na nakikita nyo ngayon, schools.jobs180.com/MSC no para sa Marinduque State College at saka sa schools.jobs180.com/Wesleyan U no para naman sa Wesleyan University Philippines. Lahat po ng companies na makita nyo dyan, lahat ng job opportunities, these are legit positions because we do our due diligence. Ibig sabihin, before makapost yung isang company, we ask certain documents, legal documents for that matter, to show that they are legally existing no, and operating in the Philippines. So, wag kayong mangamba pag nag-apply kayo sa mga company na yan, lahat po yan legit. Now, if ever, no, by any chance, meron kayo na-encounter na hindi magandang scenario, may company example, doing some malpractice. Wala naman kami na-encounter so far, pero just in case, you'll be the first na kung meron kayo na-encounter, feel free to raise it to our team. No? Pwede mo i-send yung concern ninyo sa info at jobs180.com. Okay, so our team will be able to assist you. We will be looking into kung ano nangyari. But of course, you have to tell us what happened. Okay, mamaya, yun nga, na-late ka or hindi ka lang nag-confirm sa interview, tapos pumunta ka, ayaw ka na i-entertain ng company, tapos yun pala yung concern mo. Diba? So you also have to play it fair, no? Look at it then at all angles before you tell us as well yung concern na yun. Okay? So yun.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Siguro, sir, last na lang po. No?
Sige lang, go lang.
Can you please enlighten us about salary models? Like, how much po ba dapat ang ini-expect for entry-level positions? And ano po yung justifiable amount? Like, for example, malaki po ba yung 30K?
Okay.
Maliit po ba kapag 5K? Ano po yung metrics natin ng tama at sapat?
Okay, sige. So, medyo sensitive yung topic na yan kasi iba-iba pong location, iba-iba rin ng industry standards. Now, when I say industry standards, iba-iba rin yung salary, basic or minimum wage no ng bawat location na kung saan man tayo. In the case of Marinduque, baka iba yung basic salary, magkaiba rin po yung minimum wage doon naman sa Nueva Ecija, example. So, ang sa akin, how you say malaki or maliit is subjective. No? Subjective in the sense that on your end, you check first how much ang magiging expenses mo. No? Kasi example, some of you are listening here might be breadwinners ng family, you might be supporting mga kapatid nyo, or maybe you're also supporting your parents, maybe you're helping out no sa bahay. So tingnan mo rin magkano yung nagagastos or kailangan mo i-contribute doon sa bahay para alam mo more or less how much ang mari-request mo or mai-ask mo na salary dun sa company. Now, para masabi naman kung ano yung swakto lang, wag naman yung over exaggerated, and you can always refer to the minimum wage no nung location. Kasi syempre kung ikaw ay nasa Manila, iba rin po yung standard of living sa Manila. Mas mahal ang renta, mas mahal ang pagkain, 'di ba? Pag ikaw ay nasa probinsya o sa mas ibang location, baka mas mura ang pagkain, mas mura po ang renta. So titingnan po ninyo 'yon. Para sa akin, you can always check on yung minimum wage per location, per region as a reference. Now, to back it up lang kapag kayo ay tinanong nung HR, how much are you expecting for your initial salary or for how much are you expecting no as a fresh graduate, magkano ang sweldo, then you can always refer on those two items. Yung isa is kung magkano yung minimum wage, and then you can maybe look into a little higher than that, 'di ba? At tingnan mo rin kung yung cost mo ba, yung gagastusin mo pasok na dun sa sweldong hingiin mo. Kasi baka mamaya yung gagastusin mo mas malaki pa sa kikitain mo, wag ka na lang magtrabaho, 'di ba? Parang mahirap na. Nagtatrabaho ka, negative pa, may utang pa, 'di ba? So you also look into those things. Or maybe you have to do sideline, no? May racket ka na, 'di ba? Para to cover for yung expenses ninyo. Okay? So I hope I'm able to answer yung mga tanong na natanong ni Ma'am Shari. Yan po.
Yeah, thank you for that, sir. So confirming, if wala na pong questions from our audience, we'd also like to check if Miss Mira is ready to take on the next speaker po. Are we okay to present?
Yeah,
Ayan.
what?
So to everyone, again, it's on your screen. Please visit your respective school sites. That's schools.jobs20.com for MSc. So that's for Marinduque State College, and schools.jobs20.com/Wesleyan U for the students of Wesleyan University. So to everyone, you are invited to go to that link and check out vacancies from all the other partner companies available na nag-post po sa Jobs 180 website. So Sir Kim, thank you for your time. See
Thank
you
you,
again.
thank you. Be safe, everyone. Thank you po. Bye-bye.
Thank you for that, sir. So next up, here to discuss top skills companies look for when hiring, we have Miss Almira Pelingon, Senior Recruitment Operations Specialist over at Optum. Miss Mira is a graduate of BS Psychology from the University of San Carlos, and she started her career journey with Optum Global Solutions Philippines last 2017 as a care coordinator. She worked her way up as a senior recruitment operations specialist and presently taking on a new role in early careers and university relations. So with that, let's welcome to the floor Miss Mira Pelingon. Hi ma'am, how are you? Good
Hi,
afternoon.
Shari. Good afternoon. I'm good. How are you?
Can we test your deck?
Okay, sure. Let me know if you can now see my screen.
Okay. Ayan. So to everyone, Miss Mira, we have paiba-ibang courses. Meron from
Mm,
finance, meron from public administration, meron from edu, ayan ma'am. So nasa comments ma'am yung courses nila. So with that, Miss
Okay.
Mira, I'll leave you to it and I'll be back for the Q&A. Thank you,
All
ma'am.
right, great. Thank you, Shari. So, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Again, my name is Almira. I'm part of the early careers here in the Philippines for Optum Global Solutions. So, before I jump right into my topic, I wanted to introduce first the organization that I'm currently working in. So, if you're not yet familiar with Optum, we are a United Health Group company, which is the largest global in house center and largest health services company in the Philippines. Globally, we are a Fortune 5 company serving virtually every dimension of the health system. So, this is where you can begin your life's best work. So currently we are 21,000 strong and still growing here in the Philippines. We actually started more than 10 years ago, and we also actually leverage or proud to say that most of our workforce in the Philippines are millennials. So we actually engage more on the youth, and that's 86% of total, and 44% of those are actually leaders. So our footprint, or where are we located in the Philippines? We currently have six locations. So we have in Taguig, Alabang, Quezon City, Cebu, and our newest site, which is in Makati, and our upcoming new site, which is in Davao. So our mission in Optum is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work better for everyone. At Optum, we are actually committed to caring for your needs, mental, physical, emotional, developmental, so we can all work together to help people live healthier lives. So of course, overall health of our employees are important to Optum, and we understand that that does not apply only to physical health, but also mental wellness, inclusion and belongingness, camaraderie, sense of community, and being able to support their passions in life, even giving back. So we actually have here employee assistance program, wherein we provide additional assistance to employees through the relationships, finances, or mental health. We also have employee engagement activities where we sponsor events that allow employees to socialize together. We also have special interest groups, which is a safe space for team members with similar backgrounds and special interests. And last but not the least, opportunities to volunteer, which is for you to volunteer for various social causes and contribute towards our mission to help build healthier and communities for everyone. And I'm also proud to share our COVID 19 response here in Optum and how we take care of our team members. So during the lockdown last 2021, care packages were actually delivered to employee homes within 24 hours. We also increased our insurance coverage specific to COVID 19 related illnesses and confinements. And in anticipation of possible oxygen shortage, we actually ordered oxygen tanks and concentrators in advance. And also, when the typhoon Odette hit mostly southern and central regions of the country, especially in Cebu last December 16, 2021, we actually extended cash assistance to a total of 3,878 employees. We also accommodated our team members on site because of no electricity, no water in our homes. We also have meal stubs distributed to RTO and support teams from December 16 to January 15, and 565 food kits dispatched to team members needing food and water. So what to love about Optum? Our success is actually fueled by our culture of care and compassion. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about the company that I am working with, let's jump right into the topic, which is top skills to do your life's best work, or top skills employers look for in a fresh graduate. So employers want to make sure you are qualified for the job by having the appropriate degree, but they also need to know if you have the skill sets too. So our skills are actually divided into two, and what skills are important. So we have two, that's hard skills and soft skills. Let me start first with hard skills. So the hard skill is the one that utilizes your intelligence quotient. This is a teachable ability or skill sets that are easily measurable or quantifiable, and these are technical abilities that fit the job. So, for example, for hard skills, if you are in the technology industry, your hard skill might be Java coding or network configuration or any other languages. Or, for example, if you're in accountancy or in finance, it would be asset management or account analysis. So, those are hard skills. You'd think hard skills actually matter most, but you'd be wrong because the truth is that the demand for soft skills has been growing since at least maybe around 1980s. So a study conducted by ZETI last 2020 says that 61% of hiring managers and recruiters actually find that soft skills are more important to have than hard skills. Okay? So that brings me to identifying or defining soft skills. So soft skill is the one that utilizes your emotional quotient, and these abilities are not unique to a specific job, and it includes social skills, communication skills, and people skills. So by contrast, soft skills are the traits that make you a good employee, such as etiquette, communication and listening, getting along with other people. So today, that is why I will be sharing with you 5 important soft skills we look for in a candidate. Starting right away with the very first one, which is critical thinking and problem solving. So, no matter what the job, employers want candidates who are capable of analyzing evidence, questioning assumptions, testing hypotheses, observe, and draw conclusions from any form of data. This is why during interviews, we ask situational questions about your previous work or internship experiences because then we will see if this skill is present. So, by engaging in active learning, students will begin to apply critical thinking skills to their work. So, active learning are those you experience active learning in internships, in practicums, in labs, field experience, and because active learning actually puts you or the students directly in the situation where they would be handling in their career. So basically, that's already a practice that can already be considered and as an experience. Okay, so again, that's critical thinking and problem solving. So moving to the second skill, it's teamwork and collaboration. So teamwork is necessary for jobs all across the spectrum. So whatever job that you have, teamwork is very important. We look for candidates who can work well with others, of course, whether you will be doing a lot of team projects or simply attending a few meetings, you need to be able to work effectively with people around you, of course. And by interacting with your coworkers, you may reach a better conclusion or idea than you would have on your own. So, other reasons employers strive for graduates with teamwork skills is that those skills can promote unity in the workplace. Teamwork can provide improved productivity, it promotes work synergy, and can provide new learning opportunities. So, it's which is actually tried and true with the job that I currently have in recruitment because all of us have the same goal and working collaboratively makes us more efficient in reaching those goals or those targets. Okay? So, again, that's teamwork and collaboration. The third skill is professionalism and strong work ethic. So, no matter what job or career you find yourself in after graduation, your employer will expect you to have a strong professionalism and work ethic. These skills can actually be developed through simple tasks such as being punctual and having a professional attitude. These can also be developed through more time consuming tasks. So, such people who have professionalism and strong work ethic, simple as coming to work on time, completing their tasks in a timely manner, and staying focused and organized. So, while these people can work independently, people with strong work ethic can also follow instructions. So, by having a professional attitude and strong work ethic, employers will be more interested in considering you for promotions, new jobs or roles within the company, or other positive outcomes. Okay? Again, professionalism and work ethic can be as simple as coming to work on time and completing your tasks in a timely manner. Okay? All right. So now that we've covered more than half of the discussion points that I'll be sharing today, let's just do a quick recap on the skills that I discussed. So the first one is that's critical thinking and problem solving. Second is teamwork and collaboration. And the third one is professionalism and strong work ethic. Okay? All right, so let's move on to the fourth skill, which is, of course, oral and written communication skills. So, communication skills are important in almost every job as well, same as being in a team or having teamwork. You will likely need to communicate with people on the job, whether they are your clients, your customers, your colleagues, your managers, or vendors. So, while being proficient in digital technology, especially during the pandemic, technology should not be used as the only means of communication, especially now that we are transitioning to a hybrid setup or face to face setup, both in school and in organizations or in the companies. So you will also need to be able to speak clearly and politely with people in person. So to improve in your oral communication skills, it is important not to over communicate. Make sure to engage with your audience and be a good listener. So you will also need to be able to, or employers want employees who can not only communicate their own ideas, but can also listen or knows how to listen empathetically to others. Because communication is a two-way street. It's both listening and talking. Okay? So, of course, our written also comes hand in hand in oral or communication skills. In any job, you will most likely write letters and emails and send emails to your partners, to your colleagues, and such. So, to improve your written communication skills, it's important to organize your thoughts. And you can practice organizing your thoughts by simply writing down your day or writing about your day from the moment you wake up and go to bed. Okay? All right. So we're now done or down to the last but not the least skill, which is the leadership skills. There. So, by combining critical thinking, teamwork, professionalism, and work ethic and communication skills, you can actually become a great leader in your workplace. So, while not every job or you might not be applying for a leadership or managerial role, most employers will still want to know that you can make decisions when push comes to shove, or that you can manage situations and people whenever they're not around. So the ability to step up to the plate in a difficult situation and help resolve it is something employers look for in some candidates or prospective employees. So, again, leadership skill is a combination of the four skills that I've mentioned earlier, that I've discussed earlier. So, it's essential as well to find your leadership style so you would know how to hone your skill as a leader as well as make a positive impact to your direct reports. So, you can actually observe or look at your managers or professors on their leadership styles. If it worked on you, you can actually pay that forward on your future direct reports. But of course, we are all different, to each his own. So we'll have different leadership styles now and as we go along and meet more people. So make sure to evaluate as well your skills and establish areas of strengths and weaknesses to improve your leadership skills. Also, in having this skill, it's important that you are self aware of your strengths and you are willing to work on your weakness. Okay? So, those are the five important skills in a candidate. And at a minimum, usually employees need role specific knowledge and abilities to perform your job duties. Those are your hard skills. But those who usually stand out as high performers need some additional qualities. And those, that's the time wherein your soft skills are put to good use. And always remember that what makes you special can inspire your life's best work. So if you want to know more or if you want to start living your life's best work, we are actually growing here in Optum and now hiring for these positions. So if you want to know more about the company, you can check our website, workatoptum.com, and all of these positions are posted in jobs180.com/Optum. So that is it for me today. Thank you all so much for your time, and back to you, Shari.
Thank you for that, Miss Mira. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. I'll go first. So first question, ma'am. Is it okay to land a job that is not directly related to your course?
Yes, of course. As long as I mentioned earlier, there are roles that are very specific with your hard skills or your degree on what you earn from school. But as long as that specific job can put your soft skills into good use or their qualifications are more on that, then you can definitely apply, even if it's outside your course. Let's say, for example, I have a manager who was a graduate of international studies. So she pursued a career in HR, even though it's not related, but she was passionate in communicating to others, which is a skill needed in HR. So that's why she pursued this career because it's aligned with her passion to communicate to other people. And that's a soft skill.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. So, next question po. Ano pong tips nyo for self-doubt? Like, for example, I'm a job seeker and I feel that, oh, I don't have that good when it comes to com skills. Wala akong, for example, hindi pa maganda yung teamwork ko or hindi pa ako magaling na leader, for example. So, ano
Mm-mm.
pong tips nyo doon, ma'am?
Mm. Siguro what I put in mind during those times is that experience talaga is the best teacher. So unless you experience it, you will never learn. We may read about it sa books, or we may see it sa YouTube or sa TikTok on how to battle self-doubt. Pero we will be able to learn more on how to self-doubt if parang tayo na yung nai-immerse sa experience. Kasi para siyang muscle memory. So if you've gone through that situation where you self-doubt, the next time that you will be encountering that again, you will remember how you did it, so that kahit may self-doubt, you can still do it. And siguro, that's, you can also think that your managers are there for that reason. They are there to help you. If you're not that capable of that specific task, then your managers are there. As long as you are willing to work on that specific weakness, then you can learn that along the way.
All right. So thank you for that, ma'am. Next question po. Would you say that some of the soft skills that you mentioned, is it an innate quality? Like, can you train this in the workplace po? Or do you
Mm-mm.
think that critical thinking is something that should be already in the person before they join an organization, for example?
Mm. So I think some of the skills are actually innate. Kasi parang I know some folks that are very good communicators na, even though wala masyadong exposure sa ganon. But as I mentioned earlier, soft skills are something that you can learn from experience. Kasi for hard skills, you can learn it sa school, sa books. But for soft skills, you can learn it actually along the way. As long as you are aware that this is something that you need to work on, or you're really good at this specific skill, then you can leverage on that, or alam mo saan ka magpo-position with the current job that you have or yung a-applyan mo. So again, it's actually best of ang blessed mo if innate na talaga sa'yo yung other skill. But if not, then that's okay. Kasi we have lots of resources nowadays to learn more or to enhance more that specific skill.
Ayan, last question na lang to, ma'am.
Okay.
If you want to join a multinational company, like for example, Optum, do you really need to have like good to perfect English? What's your take, ma'am?
Siguro just good English, as long as you can understand and speak the language. Kasi when you apply for a company, of course you have to research about it. And if you research about Optum, most of our clients, or once you work in Optum, you will be catering to clients that are based in the US. So of course, it's understandable that we want someone who knows and understands the English language, because how will you be able to do your task if you are not able to do that? So hindi naman perfect yung hinahanap namin na English comms, but we just want someone as simple as can really understand and speak like simple English. Kasi may trainings naman. So you will undergo trainings, of course. So you will be able to enhance it more along the way.
Okay, follow-up question on that, ma'am.
Sure po.
When it comes to fresh graduates applying for jobs, is this a common reason why they might not get that job? Like for example, they don't have good comms. Do
Mm-mm.
you is it a qualification? Like a
Mm-mm.
criteria?
Actually, yes, it's a part of the qualification. As mentioned earlier, you'll mostly be dealing with clients that are based in the US, or customers that are based in the US. So of course, one of our qualifiers is really your English communication skills. For fresh graduates naman kasi, we usually naman they can speak and understand naman in English. I think pinangungunahan lang ng kaba during the interview. So yun, na uutal sila during interview, or parang na ano bang term, but
Mental
parang
blocks.
nawawala sa oo, yan ganun. Nawawala sa isip nila kung ano dapat nilang sabihin. So yun lang naman usually yung roadblock sa fresh graduates with what we notice. But yun nga, you can practice everything. Once you experience everything, then you can go ahead and do it with more confidence.
Ayan. So, thank you for that, Miss Mira. So, to our audience, are you sure wala na kayong tanong? Sayang, no? So, to everyone, plug lang ako habang waiting for your questions. Please check out the career site for Optum. That's www.jobs20.com/Optum. So, you'll find there the list of openings, the list of vacancies for Miss Mira's company, and you can apply through that site as well. So, pag nakita nyo na, oh, this looks like something I'm good at, or this looks like something I want to do. So, pwede kayo mag-submit gamit yung jobs180.com account ninyo. So, Miss Mira, on behalf of MST and WUP here today with us, thank you po so much for being with us and accommodating our request for the presentation today. Thank you, Miss Mira.
Thank you, Shari. Bye.
Have a great day, ma'am.
Have a
Ayan.
great day.
So to everyone, nagtatanong si Sevtan, will there be a recording of the webinar on Jobs 180 page? Yes, this event or this webinar is recorded, so you can rewatch, or if you want to forward it to one of your friends or one of your classmates, pwede naman. If they miss out on the first part, pwede rin sila mag-rewatch. Kung meron pa kayong mga classmates na wala pa dito, please tap them, please tag them in the comments so that they don't miss out on this activity. So, meron tayong evaluation forms and meron din attendance links to make sure na masecure nyo yung attendance nyo bago mag-end yung webinar natin ngayong hapon. So, next up. So, here to discuss the new era of work, we have Sir Dennis Supetran, Talent Development Assistant Director for Ernst& Young Philippines. Sir Dennis brings with him over 18 years of experience in supporting the learning and development needs of organizations across levels. Prior to joining EY, he worked with GP Strategies as the Leadership and Management Training Manager for East Asia. He has also worked with HSBC Global Service Centers, partnering with various senior leaders in 7 countries to drive in leadership development. Sir Dennis has a bachelor's degree of science in psychology from Ateneo de Manila University. He is also a certified facilitator for Situational Leadership 2 program from the Ken Blanchard Companies, as well as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator program from CPP. He is also a certified instructor for TRACOM Social Style and Versatility. And in his spare time, Sir Dennis enjoys playing tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and board games with friends and spending time with his 2 kids. So let's welcome to the floor Sir Dennis Supetran to discuss new era of work.
The talk I was given was, the new era of work. And I think a lot of you, even from a school perspective, have already begun to see what are the changes. Specifically, we're seeing more and more of our face to face interactions and classes, even at that. Right. And I think, in this particular case, what's going to be important is also me sharing the story of EYGDS Philippines. So currently, to date, EYGDS Philippines is part of the EY network employees, and that's out of the 360,000 employees that EY has globally. And if you notice, the Philippines has a special place within the Global Delivery Services Group because we are the second largest location outside of India, right? Where we have almost 47,000 plus and growing individuals. And what does this mean for us? And I think, the past 2 years have really been milestone for us, not just in terms of the unprecedented changes and adjustments that we had to do, both in our lines of business and even from our personal lives perspective, but also from a growth perspective. Because, from 3,500 individuals at the start of the pandemic to almost 5,600. I think, the story of EYGDS Philippines is something that can be shared. And hopefully, a lot of you, as you're preparing to enter the workplace, as you're preparing to explore both your career and your personal goals in life, right? You're able to take away some very important tips. And for me in particular, and being part of EYGDS for 6 years, going on 7 years now, this coming December, what's always important is that when we take a look at how we make adjustments, diba? At the start of the pandemic, and now when we're seeing, and thankfully, we are enjoying a lot of the removals of the restrictions in terms of movement, in terms of even, uh, you know, restrictions in terms of what type of activities we can enjoy. It's important to understand what is it that helped us through it. And I think for that, and this is, one of the materials that we have in EY. So when you look at how we've been able to adjust and overcome these challenges the past 2 years, whether it's an individual perspective or even organizational perspective, like EYGDS Philippines, right? Growing from 3,500 to over 5,600 at this point, and hopefully hitting 6,000 in the next, few months, right? um, what has served us in good stead is not, the technology. Yes, that's important. It's not the, processes that we have, like BCP, business continuity planning, etc., because again, those are important. But what really helped us make adjustments, and even for me personally, was really the mindset that we had. And that's the, one of the key messages, that I'd like to share with all of the graduating students, the near graduating students, especially those that might be starting their internship year, and also for those that are maybe already graduated and are joining this event, right, for your university. So, what takes a person further? Right. And personally, in the 20 plus years that I've been working, 18 years of that leading and managing teams, what I've always found out is really the mindset that I adopt personally, diba? Uh, is going to take me further than the skill set. And this has helped me in good stead because, if just to give a quick overview as well, aside from the introduction earlier, I've gone through very different industries in my career. So right out of college, I spent a year doing volunteer work for Jesuit Volunteers Philippines. And then after that, going into the BPO industry, and then going into the shared services space where I spent a good amount of years with HSBC, and now to EY, which is a professional services firm, right? And all throughout those different industries, from NGO to education, to the education, because I did spend a year as a college guidance counselor in Ateneo, right? To the corporate world. What's really helped me transition and make the shift successfully throughout those different industries is really the mindset. Because again, the skill sets over time can change. The technology, as we've seen, right, has changed and will continue to change, especially with, the introduction of a lot of new tools, primarily AI, right? One of the things that we have to take a look at is what is it that will keep us motivated and productive, because at the end of the day, when we take a look at what's going to help us successfully navigate the new workplace environment, and again, a lot of people ask, okay, are we already at the new normal, diba? And you've heard this term probably the past 2 years repeatedly, yeah. And I think the term itself, the new normal, um, that, forgets about a quintessential and a very essential truth, that things always change, diba? There's things that always change from both a personal perspective, from an industry perspective, and what is going to help us navigate those are the habits that we build. There's a very popular saying that most of you might be familiar with, diba? And the saying goes, first you make your habits, diba? Like when you're growing up, when you're studying, when you're in school. And then again, a lot of you may have heard, the same advice from your parents, from your teachers, even from your classmates, hopefully from your classmates as well. Um, First, make your habits, right? And when you make those habits in time, and especially now in this very important transition that all of you are going through, right? Going from the academe, going from, studying full time, right? And also maybe working part time for some of you that are working students, right? Transitioning to a full time job, right? So when you first make those habits, the saying goes, first make your habits, and then those habits will make you, right? So by that same token, if you build the wrong type of habits, right, when you go into the workplace, then those bad habits are going to keep you away from being successful, keep you away from building those long lasting relationships that'll help you see you through, whether or not you stick to one particular industry or you branch out and explore, right? So the three tips that I have for everyone is this. There's seven key habits, and I think a lot of you may be familiar with this or have heard of this, right? Seven Habits by Stephen Covey, and we'll go through that in a little bit. And then the second tip I have for everyone is develop your emotional intelligence, and this is very very important because at this point in time, we're seeing changes. We're seeing some companies already adapt or set their policies in place in terms of like, is our office policy going to be full time, meaning 5 days out of the week, Monday to Friday, or whatever the case may be, you have to be in the office, or you have other companies like, for example, EYGDS Philippines, where we've adopted a hybrid working setup where we're in the office for some time, and currently to date, we've made announcements internally as well that we'll be in the office for twice a week. Right. Again, that can change in the future, but what's going to help us navigate and adopt those important habits that will help us be successful is our emotional intelligence. And this is very different from what most of you know as your IQ, diba? EQ is different from IQ, and we'll take a look at what those differences are. And what does it mean for you to develop emotional intelligence, right? So the third one is developing a growth mindset. So when you take a look at, the industries, the companies, and hopefully you'll also consider EYGDS Philippines as, as a company to explore and hopefully to grow, right? When we take a look at the growth mindset versus what a fixed mindset, and again, this is going to be very important from a leadership and management standpoint, and I do a lot of those sessions as well for the leaders within EYGDS Philippines. This is a topic and a theme that we've been exploring very consistently, getting people to move away from a fixed mindset that can hold them back, that can keep them static in place, and going into and growing a growth mindset for some of our leaders. And when we talk about, and when you'll see the growth mindset, it also applies very very strongly to the situations that most of you might find yourselves in the next few weeks or months as you begin to enter the workforce, right? So let's first go to the first one: seven habits to build. So again, I cannot stress this enough. Please go ahead and read. For those of you that are more visual or auditory learners, there are tons and tons, and I cannot, understate it enough. There's so many resources that have explored this book, that have talked about the basic principles, and more importantly, what are the seven habits. Now, of course, some of you that may be seeing this for the first time, and again, the book has been around, for ages. I think the first book was launched around in the 1980s, right, or 90s, right? So again, it's been some time since its launch, but because this is a principle-based book, meaning when you talk about principle-based learning, and this is a key factor for a lot of Stephen Covey's books, right, and even trainings. I've gone through several trainings as well from their training institution, right? So when we talk about the seven habits, there's first three habits that I'd like you to focus on. So first off is being proactive, right? Do you know what is it that you want to accomplish, right? And again, some of you might not be able to answer that, and it's okay. But being proactive, making sure that we take action rather than wait to react, that's very very important. Second, begin with the end in mind. And again, you don't have to be, you don't have to be as far off seeing as, oh, I want to be like a manager, I want to be a senior manager, I want to be a business owner, 10 years from now. Beginning with the end in mind can be just as simple as, when you wake up, right? And some of you might be able to relate to this example. When you wake up, you think, okay, what is it I want to do today? What is it that, who is it that I want to be able to connect to, right? Um, what else do I need to do for this day, for this week, for this month, so on and so forth, right? So that's the second habit. And then, of course, the third one, and this is very, very important because a lot of times people that enter the workplace for the first time, diba? Again, beginnings are an exciting time. So people always get excited, people always tend to commit. And what ends up happening is that when they overcommit, they tend to get burned out, right? But if you're clear about what your priorities are, both from a personal and professional perspective, then it makes it much, much easier, right? So again, we won't go through all of the habits, but again, those three. And the last one, right? Putting first things first. What is a priority? Uh, this is a principle that will really help you a lot, whether it's managing your time from a personal perspective or even from a workplace perspective. Like what I mentioned earlier, because beginnings are always an exciting time, a lot of people tend to overcommit. But they go into a company, they volunteer for a lot of activities, and then they get burned out. But the Big Rocks principle talks about what is important to you, right? Like, for example, maybe you have relationships, maybe you have time for somebody who's special in your life, maybe you have time for your family, maybe some of you are very active in church and are thinking, ay, once I start working, wala nang oras yan for church, or whatever social group that you're part of, right? But the Big Rocks principles talks about, a very important piece. If you wait, and if you wait until you're sure na you're available, what ends up happening is the first one, diba? The sand, diba, which represents all those little things, mga meetings, emails, etc., tend to fill up very, very quickly. Versus if you put in the big rocks, yung mga priorities nyo. Like, for example, one best practice that I've done, and I've been doing this for my whole professional career, is when I look at my priorities, like family, like my friends. I have a group of friends from high school that I continue to play tabletop games, board games, card games, and also tabletop role playing RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, right? So what we do is we block off our calendars every month. Right. And so what I make sure of is not only do I have it on my phone, but I also have it on my office calendar. Why? So that when people in the office take a look and say, "Oh, Dennis, can we do a training, or can we have a meeting, or can we have a session at this day?" It's already blocked off. And it's not that I'm going to say no, but all I'm going to respond to is, can we schedule it some other time? And that's a very, very important principle. A lot of people in the workplace oftentimes think, ay, kasi ako yung bago eh. Ako yung, new employee. I have to say yes to everything. But it's not that. You can say no. Or better, right? And this is a tip. No, I can't make it to this date because I have something important already planned. How about we do it the other day? Or is there any other schedule we can do it? Right. So again, that's where you can do and have a very, very big impact even as a new employee. Now, what's the second tip? And this is where we go into emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is different from IQ, diba? IQ, intelligence quotient, a lot of studies, and this is both, psychological and even physiological, show that IQ pretty much is set, diba? Whatever IQ you have, that's, what you keep. You can develop your, intelligence, but a lot of times the intelligence quotient doesn't really change a lot over the course of a person's life. But emotional intelligence, and this is where it's very, very important, right? Emotional intelligence can be developed. It is a very, very important skill. And a lot of studies nowadays and a lot of material coming out from a corporate perspective is now telling us between IQ and EQ, what makes you successful at work is actually EQ. Diba? Why? Because it starts out with yourself, understanding what are your triggers. Ano ba yung kinainisan mo? Ano ba yung kinasestressan mo? Right? But once you understand that, and again, this is a very, very important message of emotional intelligence. Your emotions are valid. Right? What you feel is valid. Now, What you do out of that emotion, that is what's questionable. That is what you can categorize as either being productive or not productive, good or bad actions, right? And that's why emotional intelligence, when you take a look at how it develops, it starts out with self, making sure you're comfortable with your feelings and being able to express those feelings productively, right? So you can either go into self management, meaning how do you manage your emotions? What is it that you do to make sure you're not stressed, overworked, etc.? Or it could go into understanding others. Because I feel this way, o baka may iba pang ganit, na nakakaramdam rin ng nararamdaman ko. And so when you take a look at how that goes, that just helps your manage your relationships. And this is very, very important because more and more, a lot of the work that we're doing in the workplace, right? The work is increasingly getting more complex, and the workload and sometimes the quality of the work isn't just dependent on one person's action. Sure, you still have some, some jobs that ikaw lang talaga yung gagawa, 'di ba? Tapos wala ka ng dependency sa iba. But more and more what we're seeing, and for EYGDS specifically, because we're employing different types of professionals, from cybersecurity experts to accountants to management professionals and even some creative artists, right? Um, some of the work that's needs cooperation, needs a good relationship with others because these other people might not be part of your team, right? And that's why when we talk about emotional intelligence, it's not about suppressing emotions. A lot of times people go into the workplace thinking, ay, dapat I'm prim and proper. Dapat I should be emotionless, di ba? Yun nga, professional, so to speak, being nice. But it's not about that. It's all about being able to bring your emotions and being able to harness your emotions and the energy those emotions bring you, right? Understanding their meaning and impact and to adjust your behavior accordingly. Right. And how does this exactly work? There's two tips I can share. Managing your feelings so that they're expressed appropriately and effectively. So being in the workplace doesn't mean na ay itatago ko kung sino ako. Itatago ko kung napapagod na ako, nagugutom ako, etc. No, it's not that. It's being able to express these emotions appropriately and effectively so that you can work better with others, right? To reach your common goals. And this is very, very important. And a lot of companies, even EYGDS Philippines in particular, we look for these in the candidates that want to join us, right? So here are two quotes that I leave before we go into the last one, which is growth mindset, diba? There's two quotes, and the first one is from the father, or the father of emotional intelligence. So Daniel Goldman talked about, there's intelligence in the emotions, and intelligence can be brought to emotions. So again, you might not have control on your emotions in feelings, but feelings are valid, right? But what you do because of those emotions, because of those feelings, that is what you can apply emotional intelligence for, right? And this is, a second one is a quote, and this is this is something that's great, uh, attributed to Aristotle. I'm not quite sure, but it says it very, very, creatively. Anyone can be angry, that's easy, but to be angry with the right person to the right degree at the right time for the right purpose, that is not easy, right? And I think that's what's important with emotional intelligence, about how do we harness so that we're motivated and we're passionate. And I think that's the key term. A lot of companies nowadays want to hire people that are passionate. And when you say passion, you're able to harness your emotions to be productive, to be motivated. And here's another one. When you join a company, and EYGDS Philippines wants to encourage this particular mindset as well. The difference between having a fixed mindset and growth mindset. And the difference and the definition can be as simple as this. A fixed mindset person is somebody who thinks, ay, ito lang ako eh. Ito lang yung kaya ko. Right? So, individuals that believe their talents are innate gifts, 'di ba? Kung wala ako niyan, hindi ko kaya kasi makipag-manage ng mga tao eh, 'di ba? Parang nahirapan akong dealing with people, right? That's a fixed mindset. A growth mindset is somebody who feels and thinks that talents can be developed, right? Whether it's through hard work, whether it's working well with others, right? So these are the different ways that you can look. And if you take a look at it, how people with a fixed mindset and growth mindset looks at challenges. Fixed mindset, I avoid ako dyan kasi hindi ko sigurado kung paano ko gagawin yan. Growth mindset, uy, challenge yan. I can learn from it and I can maybe hopefully pick something up from it. Right? Failure. I avoid failure kasi pag nag-fail ako, ayan, sunod-sunod na yan. Tapos pag kinausap ko ng boss ko, babalik na naman yan eh. But people with a growth mindset look at failures that, hey, is there something I learned from it? And do I change what I do? That's a growth mindset. And again, you can take a quick photo of this, you can look it up in the internet, but having a growth mindset will really help you a lot in terms of what is it that you want to explore in companies, right? Like for example, for EYGDS Philippines, we provide a lot of different programs for a lot of people and not just necessarily work related. So what do I mean by that? So for example, we have one of our flagship programs, which is EY badges. So this is an internal certification that is global in scope, because again, the same information that you take up, let's say for example, artificial intelligence, and again, a lot of the technologies and processes that companies now are developing are based off of AI or even automation based, right? So when you take a look at this, AI, it could be somebody who is, from our assurance practice or yung mga auditors namin, di ba? It could be somebody who is like from HR, like from my team. But if they're interested in AI, they can actually take it up. So I think, looking at companies and companies that provide that very wide range of development is going to be very, very important for all of you, right? So second, all of these EY badges, every badge that you can earn can potentially help you qualify for a full-fledged master's degree. And again, this is a highlight of EY, and something that we are very, very proud of. Sure, a lot of companies do have those, copay na, 'di ba? Parang, oh, you want to get a master's? Oh, sige, the company will sponsor part of that. But here, EY is committed to developing people across different nationalities, geographies, and even backgrounds. So much so that we have three master's programs in place available to all employees. It doesn't matter whether, like, for example, we had like 64 people that joined EY last week, and this was Monday and Tuesday of last week, right? Um, they are already eligible to actually pursue a full-fledged master's program, right? And that master's degree provided by Health International Business School is free, meaning lahat ng mga associated costs, at least for the first one, because EY is also recognizing that some people might want to pursue multiple master's degrees, right? So we have a master's degree for Tech MBA. So this is a full-fledged master's degree in business administration. We have a full-fledged master's for business analytics, and of course, master's in sustainability, because the solutions that EY creates with its clients does not just need to be effective, 'di ba? Okay naman 'yon pag we have an effective, we have an efficient solution, but what's also increasingly important for EY is, are we providing sustainable solutions, both from an economy's perspective, from an environment perspective, from all facets, right? So those are some of the examples. And another thing is, like, for example, for all of our staff, and this is one of the highlights that we have from a program perspective, right? We have employees that are able to access all of these learning platforms 24/7, diba? So some of you, like especially those that are working students, right? You can, identify with that, diba? Na parang, oh, you really have to set aside time for your work and also for your studies, right? But here, all EY is saying, you have the access, and all of these programs are free. And like what I mentioned earlier, some of these programs are not work related. What's an example of this? EY recognizes that there are some people that have entrepreneurial goals, diba? They want to set up their own business because they believe that, employment only lasts for a time, diba? And what happens if you're not employable anymore, or hindi ka na makapagtrabaho sa company? So here you have on the left hand side what's available on our internal platform. So imagine we have 3,000 courses for business development, even if you're not necessarily doing work that's related to business development, meaning pursuing clients, signing clients, etc. Right? And that same course And when you take a look at it, Udemy is one of the world's largest online providers for learning content. That same course, business development and B2B sales for startups, that's available on their external website for anyone for around $90. But here, it's only available for EY for free. What's another example? Digital marketing. So on the left hand side or the top part, you see we have almost 1,000 courses. And again, this is not, business related, pero EY makes it available. Why? Because we know that people have different goals, whether it's on a personal perspective or professional perspective. But by making these available within EY, we believe that it's going to help people get more motivated and more focused and more productive as a result. Right. And here you have that digital marketing 12 courses in one. It's $90. So that's what almost 5,000 pesos at this point, given the exchange rate. Right. And for those of you that are, again, avid content uh, consumers, diba? Yung mga videos, etc., or even you might be content creators. EY, imagine, diba? 800 courses on live streaming, right? We're making it available for all of our employees for free. But it's not something that's work related. We're not expecting for all of our employees to be doing events like what I'm doing for Jobs 180, but we invest in it because we see that people that are able to tap into their purpose, their goals, their personal passions, they're more willing to work, they're more focused, they're more motivated, and they're more productive as a result. Right. And that's why when we talk about, even social media marketing, this is the last one, right? There's that huge investment from EY from a global perspective, right, to make this available for all of our employees. And so we hope, and this is an invitation now for everyone, we have openings from an accountancy, engineering, computer science, and even information system students, right? To please go ahead and review the openings that we have. We have it on the Jobs 180 website, and we'll get to that in a bit. For the accountancy graduates of the University of the Assumption, we do hope that you also consider EY because we do have openings for our audit staffs, right? We also have openings from a tax perspective for our accounting associates, and this is some of the information. So again, please make sure to make the most out of the online events like Jobs 180 has been working with the university. Please visit us at jobs180.com/EYGDS. If you'd like to know more about what EYGDS and what EY is doing from a global perspective, you can visit us at our EY career site. And for those that are maybe near graduating, maybe you're doing your internship year at this point, so you can actually apply for possible internship positions here in EY. So thank you so much, Sherry. That is my talk.
Thank you for that, Sir Dennis. So, to our audience, again, the floor is open for questions. Unfortunately, Sir Dennis is not available to do the live question and answer, but I'm here so I can answer your questions kung meron lang kayong tanong. Ayan. So, ayan. Oh, I found one. Okay. From Javen Neres. I'm from Marinduque State College, and my question is, how do you deal with someone who's not emotionally aware or smart in the workplace, and what actions you are taking for them to learn their lessons? And so, thank you. Ayan. So, hi Javen. Unfortunately, Sir Dennis is not available for the live Q&A. But let me answer your question. So, first question, how do you deal with someone who's not emotionally aware or smart in the workplace? Okay. So, first things first, there are different um temperaments. Pag sinabi natin temperaments, may mga tao na okay lang sa kanila na hindi sila smart or hindi sila emotionally aware. Tapos kasi sasabihin nila, kasi ganito na ako eh. Ito ako eh. This is my attitude. So learn to deal with it. So meron namang other side. Meron din namang mga tao na aware sila sa limitations nila, tas aware din sila na gusto pa nilang matuto. So choose a side. So which one are you? Kasi ako, I would choose the second one, no? Yung sabihin niya, alam ko hindi pa ako masyadong magaling, alam ko madami pa akong pwedeng matutunan, ano po yung mga pwede kong gawin for that? So that brings us to your second question. What actions are you taking for them to learn their lessons? So if ang tanong mo ay para sa manager, anong ginagawa ng manager para matuto sila more or maka-learn, madami pa silang matutunan. So, dito pumapasok yung mga employers natin. As Sir Dennis mentioned a while ago, merong mga companies na nag-i-invest sa mga tao nila. So, pinapapunta nila ng mga trainings, pinapag-attend nila ng mga seminars, at ito ay at the expense of the company. So, kunyari, gusto nilang, gusto kong ma-hone mo pa yung skills mo sa communication or public speaking or sabihin natin sales, ganyan. So, si company, papadala ka ngayon or yung batch ninyo, yung group ninyo for training, for upskilling. So, for this to happen, kailangan lang, meron lang kayong willingness to learn. So, kailangan handa kayong matuto ng mga bagong methodologies at receptive kayo for new information. Kasi syempre, yung iba, especially if medyo matagal na or mahaba na yung work experience niya, it's so hard for them to accept new teachings or new methodologies. Parang it's harder to trick or it's harder to teach old people or yung it's not easy to teach tricks to old dogs, di ba? Parang may ganun tayong kasabihan. So, yun, kailangan lang receptive at saka open to new learnings and new opportunities. Yun yung maganda naman sa ating mga fresh grads today. If you're watching, kaya kayo gusto ng mga employers kasi binibuild nila yung kanilang line up or yung pipeline nila, no? So, inaasahan nila na you are expected to be malleable, to be flexible, you are expected to be receptive of new information para ma-hone nila kayo in a way that you would be effective and efficient for the company. So, may mga employers, may mga companies na willing kayo ipadala ibang lugar, ibang bansa to take on that training. So, just be sure that you are open and you are prepared for that learning. Ayan. So, to everyone, did that answer your question, Japet? Yeah, so thank you. So, to everyone, plug lang ako, no? Again, please visit the school sites of your schools. So, for MSC, that's schools.chomsonity.com/MSC. And for Wesleyan, it's schools.chomsonity.com/WesleyanU. Yeah. So, kung wala na bang tanong, kung nahihiya kayo, you can go to our Facebook page and send us a DM and our CS team will try to answer your question at the best of their abilities. Yeah. So, now, before we officially release the evaluation links, we have here Ma'am Emelita Rodelas, ayan, Director for Student Welfare Office for Marinduque State College to officially close our activity this afternoon. Ms. M, will put you up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the students and other guests from Marinduque State College and Wesleyan University who participated in Marketing Me Live activity today. Jobs180.com continue to help schools to increase the knowledge of students who will graduate about the world of work in this modern era, especially the challenges it brings. It is important to be prepared because you know better what to do next to achieve your goals. Our speakers were able to clearly share its content of the topics discussed today. Each topic is centered on things related to the world of work that awaits you, the world you are going to, dear graduating students. I wish that everyone learns something and uses what they have learned as guide for you in your journey in the new world, the world of work in this modern age. Before I end my message, let me convey my heartfelt thanks to Jobs180.com, our partner, for tirelessly providing opportunities to MSC and its students, as well as to other schools to further strengthen the readiness of each one. Thank you so much, Sir Kim, Ma'am Joyce, and the other staff of Jobs.80.com. Thank you very much to our speakers for the important knowledge you have shared with our participants. Without you, this activity would not be successful. In the end, I would like to thank all the college officials for the support led by our dear President, Professor Dr. Gustavo P. Solweta. Likewise, thank you very much Wesleyan University officials. Again, thank you very much everyone and see you all in the next Marketing Me Live activity. Good afternoon.
Thank you for that, Miss M. So to everyone, we have just released the evaluation links and attendance links. So please head on to the comment section and please make sure to fill out these forms. So there are two forms, two for MSC and one for Wesleyan University. So if you're from MSC, you have to fill out two forms. So that's the attendance and the other one is for evaluation. For WUP, isa lang. So, yung eval natin, that will also serve as your attendance. So, we'll be forwarding the registration to Dr. Annie Alfaro and to Miss M. Rodelas for the attendance links. Ayan. So, for MSC, ito po ay under na po ng office ni Ma'am Emerita. So, sila na po yung nagko-control ng sheets na to. So for Wesleyan University, so ito po, kami po ang gumawa nito. So we will forward the list to Dr. Alfaro po. Ayan. So kindly let me know if the links are working so I can officially close our session. So to everyone, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. And would like to greet you an advance congratulations para po sa lahat ng gagraduate soon. And please be advised that if you want to rewatch this webinar, it's available on jobs180.com Facebook page and YouTube channel. So the links are facebook.com/jobs180 and on YouTube, it's youtube.com/jobs180. So we're also inviting everyone to attend our next set of webinars that we are hosting next week. So please check out our Facebook page for the topics that will be discussed and you're welcome to join on any of those sessions. So with that, our session ends this afternoon. So thank you so much po and congratulations to our newly graduates. And so see you all. Sana makita namin kayo sa workforce. So thank you all and have a great afternoon.